What's up, Internet? It is that time again where we play Bomberman because it's winter time. This is Bomberman 64, the first Bomberman on the N64. Probably the one that is most well remembered by people, and honestly the one I'm least confident in my abilities to actually succeed. But let's get going. We're gonna go with normal because I'm not crazy. But let's watch some story about Bomberman. Also, despite this being a bit on Planet Bomber, this is actually a stage later on, so there's a weird continuity in the story and location. Oh hey, I recognize that guy, except he was black last time I saw him. Now he's blue. Man, I plan to do a lot more of these things, but, I mean, Let's Plays in general, but unfortunately, I had a lot of stuff on my plate this year. So, unfortunately I didn't get half as much done as I'd like to, but here's hoping this will change things, maybe. Yeah, great job. I don't remember the dialogue being this slow. But these are the main villains. Guess which one of them survives at the end? The answer will surprise you. Anyway, there are the 5 main levels, although there is a 6th one I will be showing you later. Also, one of those is not chained up for some reason. Although I think that's just a graphical hiccup or something. That's no good. Oh, I remember this scene being kind of morbid with that red Bomberman that falls flat on his face. Ooh. Somehow I managed to survive getting lasered in half, but probably didn't survive that. I guess getting lasered in half is kind of survivable. Okay, this is our buddy Sirius. He is our bestest friend in the whole wide world and will definitely not betray us at any point in the future. Which is why he's in all the other Bomberman games on the N64. Go destroy the other 4 anchors of the base to go after the main core. Yeah, I know. You're gonna give us a hand because of you being just a nice guy and no ulterior motive whatsoever there, Sirius. Welcome to the World Selects. We have 4 worlds to select: Blue Resort, Red Mountain, White Glacier, and Green Garden. I'm going to start with Green Garden because it's sort of the tutorial level, and of all of them, it's the only one I'm actually certain I can beat. So that's a good sign. You can see there's a target time. That ties into something I'll talk about in a bit. But, yeah, I know tutorialness. Do. Boom, boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da, boom. Soundtrack is good though. Okay, so the goal to this level is to get to a giant gem at the end of the level, and that requires us to do a bunch of stuff, so let's get to that. Now, the target time that you saw corresponds to the timer in the top left, and that's important because if you beat the level within that target time, you get a bonus collectible known as a gold card. If I recall, there's 5 gold cards in every level, one of which is based on beating the target time, one is based on destroying a certain number of enemies, which makes it kind of antithetical to the whole target time gold card, and 3 are hidden, and that should have blown up. Okay. That should have blown up. You gonna talk to me? Maybe if I... Boop. Nope, he doesn't want to talk to me, I guess. Let's see, yeah, so there's 5 gold cards. There's a reason why you want to get all the gold cards. If you unlock all the gold cards in the 5 main levels, that's not what I wanted to do, you unlock a 6th world. And if you... oh, that's bad. Off to a stellar start. You unlock a 6th world. If you get them all within the 6th world, you've collected all the gold cards. which is actually meaningless, but if you get all the gold cards in under 3 hours, you get bonus custom Bomberman stuff, which is actually really bloody hard to do. In fact, I've only ever done it once myself. It was on a different cart than this, so I don't even have the data to show it, but I have no interest in ever doing it again. It was terrible. But there are custom Bomberman parts hidden around here. I like going in the giant dragon mouth. But, yeah, collect custom Bomberman parts, like in second attack, to allow you to custom Bomberman your Bomberman. Useful only in multiplayer, of course, so kind of pointless for me. I wish custom Bombermans were part of the main story mode. That was one thing I always wanted about this and second attack. But, this is probably the most well-remembered of the N64 Bomberman games. And the reason I say that is because very few people liked Bomberman Hero, and go play Bomberman Hero, that's a fun game. But, most people didn't like Bomberman Hero because it didn't have multiplayer. And well, that's really why people didn't like Bomberman Hero. And second attack is just bloody rare. Which is unfortunate, because I'd say it's the best Bomberman game on, well, period, actually. Ooh, remote bombs. I'm going to slowly remember what I'm supposed to do. But, yeah, this one's the most well-remembered, and even I have fond memories of this. Originally, when I got my N64, I bought it at Toys R Us, and I remember having to decide between two games. One in my right hand, one in my left, and in my right hand was Banjo-Kazooie, and my left was Bomberman 64. Well, I went with Banjo-Kazooie, and I'd say that was probably the better of the two games, period, but eventually I got this game. Oh, there's no put down button. I don't like that, that's one thing. But I should be able to do that, because I'm not entirely inept at this game. Just, you know, mostly inept at this game. Also, unlike Bomberman second attack, I don't think there is a faster way to get out of that dazed state. Oh, I had to use that to get here, I don't need another one. So we are massively over time, if you've noticed. It shouldn't take that long to beat a level. In fact, some levels with creative bomb placement should be able to be beaten in... oh, there. That's the thing we need for the exit. But most levels with creative bomb placement you can beat in less than a minute. Blue Resort, quite famously, you can beat both adventure levels in about 30 seconds each, if that. But each world has 4 levels. The first and third levels are adventure stages like this. The second and fourth levels are boss stages. With the exception of the last 2 worlds, the Black Palace and the Hidden World, the first boss is always a Bomberman character, and the second boss is a giant Guardian monster. So we got no gold cards, which is fine. But here's the Bomberman of this world, which is our good, bestest friend man pal, Sirius, who's going to test what we know about being a Bomberman. And for some reason his wings disappear. I've never understood why that happens. Also, if I recall, see, there's a gold card we got for bosses. There's a time limit one, and then the rest are for performing special actions like knocking your opponent out, taking advantage of certain AI bits, or other special stuff. Like you can throw them in the water, and if you throw them in the water, you'll instantly kill them and get a gold card. In fact, I think you get all the gold cards immediately. But there's different ways to kill certain bosses. In fact, if I recall, the final boss can actually be killed by knocking him off his own stage like that, which is kind of neat. Okay, stage 3. Once again, we have to get the jewel. And hey, look! There it is. Done. Tons of time to spare. Aw. Yeah, that's what this level's about. This little jerk bag keeps stealing the jewel, and we have to deal with that. How do I talk to this guy? B. That makes sense. Anyway, the story is a According to Sirius, Altair, the guy in black with the other bad guys, stole something called an Omni Cube, which has untold power, and I don't think he said it in that text box, but they killed Sirius's family, so he wants revenge. And that's why he's being a good friend man guy to you. And that's totally the reason, and nothing completely ulterior and or sinister. I think there's also a gold card for collecting all the gems, so collect gems. It's a good rule of thumb in games, period, is if there are gems, collect them. Now there's a teleporter over there. That is for a hidden part, I believe. I hope so, because I don't ideally want to go over there and kill myself and completely embarrass myself yet again. You know, after this Bomber Week, I've done all the N64 Bomberman adventure games. Which basically means I've done all the Bomberman adventure games. I mean, there were 2 on the DS, but those were only available in Japan and Europe. Speaking of, if someone out there in Europe land wants to get me both Bomberman and DS adventure games, absolutely. I would very much appreciate it. There were also 2 GameCube games, one of which I own, Bomberman Generations, so I don't know, next year maybe we could do that. And Bomberman Jetters, which I only ever played once. I rented it, and I think there was something wrong with the disc, because every time it saved, it wouldn't notice that I've saved it. Son of a... Yeah, I'm bad at games, leave me alone. It's not like it's my job to know games or be good at games or anything. It's only my job to be good at games and know games and stuff. Woo! Bomberman! I love the soundtrack to this game, it's fantastic. Oh, also, while you're on YouTube watching Bomberman 64, I'm sure the video's still up. Look up the Family Jewels metal remix medley to the entire Bomberman 64 soundtrack. That is a fantastic remix to the soundtrack. Oop. Yeah, the camera's a little bit janky. Also, this is... I think it's a launch title, actually, but it's very early. You can see a lot of, like, Bomberman's face, quite famously, if we ever get a close-up of it. You can see it's a flat plane. I don't think I need to go this way. Do I? It's a flat plane on a rounded surface, so it kind of stands out as weird. Yes, let's go over here. I forget basic level layouts. This is getting tiring. Damn you, you stupid floating narwhal thing. Ha! That is fantastic. And that's the end to the level, which we've already gone over time. Now, I think we either have to bomb that... like so, revealing a teleporter. I'm surprised I remember this much. Oh, crap. Oh. Yeah, the camera is definitely a hindrance. It's also a less forgiving game, which is why I like this game less. You only get like 1 heart and it's a pickup, so it's like... It's closer to classic Bomberman, I suppose, where you only have 1 health, but... it's just not as interesting, I don't think. Also, unlike all the other Bomberman games on the N64, you only get the basic bombs. I don't think that's going to do anything, but... I know you have to pump bombs on Empire symbols like that around later. And yes, if I recall, you can fall into those things and get crushed by those elevators. I know it sounds like a fun game, don't do it. Getting crushed by elevators, like in real life, is not as fun as it sounds. Still, it plays largely like Bomberman 64, except for Second Attack, but it uses rounded explosives, which is a bit weird. Oh, and we almost got murdered by a bird. So yes, his face is a flat plane on a rounded surface. It's not even properly connected, which is kind of laughable. You'll see that with at least one of the bosses, basically a large collection of flat planes as well, which is weird. Anyway, this is the first Guardian, the Dragon of Green Garden. Let's see if we can get any gold cards from this guy, which, like the other giant Guardians, comes from destroying bits of its body, which is a neat concept. And Sirius gave us our our remote, and its health is on the side, so we can tell how much damage and health it has. Also, you can't just hold the pump bombs. Now you have to actively tap it. In Bomberman's second attack, you can hold the button down and just rotate the character and have him run in a circle, and it would go. But it's neat because, if I recall correctly, if you burn off bits of bosses' bodies, they can't do specific moves anymore. There. Did some damage, didn't burn anything off. I think you can take this guy's tail off, his wings, and I think his face. Oh, and you can knock him out. That's kind of neat. This is also the most manageable boss, being the sort of tutorial level, although you can also play the level at any point. So we just burned the horn on his head, giving us a gold card. Looks like his wing took a little damage. Sectional damage is neat. Come on. But, ow. I can't believe I died. Double KO. Does that count? No, it didn't count. I don't think I've ever double KO'd a boss before in Bomberman. That's a interesting situation. Now, if I recall correctly, and it just might be my misremembering, but the Guardian boss of one of these worlds has like a skippable second phase if you do something right. Because the fight changes and then Sirius just shows up and rescues you. But I've never been able to recreate it. I've only been able to do it since I was a kid. And unfortunately I've forgotten how to do it, so I might just be misremembering the entire situation. Oh, I almost blew myself up. See, that's one thing I don't like about this game. You've got 1 health. But overall, so far, I think this could have gone exponentially worse than it's currently going. I mean, I kind of sort of remember the level layout to this level, or this world, which is nice, because I vaguely remember the level layouts to some of them. Oh, timed that wrong. Well, that's Bomberman. Half the time you die, it's because you're the one who killed yourself because you are a spaz. I mean, hey, we've got 6 more days of this. Watching me kill myself in Bomberman because I'm inept at Bomberman. But, you know, this was my favorite Bomberman, or not my favorite, second attack's my favorite. This is my first Bomberman game, though. Before this, I'd never played Bomberman, and that's mainly because, my rental shop never had any, like, Super Bomberman games. I've still never played a Super Bomberman game, and I've tried to get them probably a couple dozen times. Never got Saturn, never got Super Bomberman. I've got the N64 ones, and almost all of the Nintendo pre-DS handheld ones, too. I think I'm missing, like, 3? I'm kind of excited about that, actually. Almost got a complete pre-DS Nintendo handheld Bomberman collection. This Bomberman's fun. Still, for a very early N64 game, you know, sectional damage, interesting bosses. Campaign could be a bit longer, and it's overly difficult in some areas. But overall, for what is basically a launch N64 title, the game's pretty solid. I don't know if he was trying to flame attack me or what, but We got 3 cards. We had lots of time to spare. And that was the first anchor in Bomberman 64. Tomorrow, we will be back with Blue Resort, and probably watching me drown a whole metric ton of times. I'll see you then.